Yes, typically I host the show, but since Blake and I kind of trade off picking guests and things like that. He found you, and
thank you.
Super small world that I know you as well.
I
think
know.
That's super cool.
Isn't that freaking awesome?
I do podcasts now. I'm in front of camera.
I know. It's super cool.
But, Blake is going to be doing the opening intro today.
Okay.
And if you want to bounce it back and forth, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you want to say, hello, welcome to the Industry Podcast, and then you say, my name is Blake, and then I'll take the rest if you want to do it that way.
Oh, no, I can do it all.
You got it? All right, we'll give you one practice run. We'll just go through with it.
Okay.
This guy's a certified actor over here.
Oh, snap.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Industry Podcast. This is your source for interviews, insights, and inside stories. I'm joined by my co-host Corey.
Hello.
How are you, Corey?
I'm great, thank you.
How was your week?
I had a really wild week, totally buried in art and creativity and photography and awesome people.
Cool.
It was awesome.
And that was just practice, so now let's get on with the real one.
All right.
You ready, Carwell?
I'm good. You guys take whenever you're ready.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Hello everyone, and my name is Blake Kraft. I'm joined by my co-host Corey Lehman.
Hello.
And this is your source for interviews, insights, and inside stories. How are you today, Corey?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your week.
I had a wonderful week, totally enveloped in creativity and photography and awesome people, and it was great.
Awesome. And our guest today is Brenda Garza.
Yes, hi.
So it's nice to have you on here. And so can you tell us a little about your experience in the film industry and what you hope to do in the future?
Yeah, so hi everyone, and thank you so much for having me on the show. First and foremost, I really do appreciate it. I come from 5 hours away, so it was pretty awesome to be here. But yeah, so the way that I know, right? And then I know him, which is even more awesome. I'm like, dude, I saw you on set, but we'll get that to you guys later. But no, I mean, the way I got started, that film got me started. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, so I am normally a TV host, so I do English and Spanish. That's what I did for the most part. A lot of commercials and radio spots, things like that. But then it wasn't until I got with the South Texas International Film Festival back home in Edinburgh that I really kind of dove into. And for the first time, I was really around like-minded people that absolutely loved the industry. And back home, it's not like Austin. It's not like, any of that stuff going on. So once you're surrounded by that, you're kind of like, maybe I can do this. Let me get out of the closet and let me see if I can really do this whole acting gig.
Yeah.
And the audition for the film You Are My Home was my first ever audition.
Wow.
And luckily for me, I actually booked it. My first audition.
Yes.
And that's how it kind of started. And as soon as the film came out, which was barely this past December 4th, 2020, and everything just kind of snowballed after that. It really, really did. This was December. In January 20th, 2021, like not maybe a month, I was like, crap, I can't do this 9 to 5 and go to auditions here and there and do this. And I was getting, interviewed and this and that. I was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to give it a shot. So I gave it a shot, and so far it's been such an amazing ride, and I'm so excited for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's kind of like that doesn't really happen to people.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very fortunate that it has. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
That is so cool that film did that much for you. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I kid you not. It was such I wasn't on set as much as everybody else, obviously like you.
All 22 days.
Yeah, you were there the whole time.
time.
But it was just so surreal when not only do I land a part, and I'm over here, in all honesty, I thought this is an indie film, just go for it, whatever. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Where did it land?
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
It landed on stinking Netflix,
Yeah.
like of all things.
Never underestimate a small film
Yes.
That little film that could. I think that one was because it changed names and it changed we ran out of money at one point and then like got more funding for post-production.
Yeah.
And like when the trailer came out, like a couple months before it released, I was stoked.
Right.
I was like, whoa.
My God. You don't even know. To me, I'm all about the trailers. I don't know who does them or what happens or how you pick, whatever things you're going to put in there, whatever scenes, the music that totally goes into it. I am obsessed with trailers. It's going to make or break you. That's the way I feel for a film.
I agree.
And so when I, got to see that, I was like, oh my God, I'm in the freaking trailer. And then I was like, and then I was, holy cheese balls, I'm in a freaking trailer. And then, when I got the call that, we're going to start shooting and, in less than a week, I think it was. And they're like, oh, by the way, you're going to be in the same film as Alyssa Milano. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
Because in all honesty, I'm that old. I might not look it. I might as well, but
not at all.
I just turned 40 on Sunday.
What?
I just turned 40. Yeah, and so she's my cup of tea. I've seen her since she was tiny in Who's the Boss, and then of course on Charmed, and then of course in Insatiable on Netflix. And I'm over here like, holy cheese balls. Did I get to work with her? No, but to say that you get to share the screen with her, by all means, I'm just like, that's it. I've done it. I made it.
You're at the same level, like just one and done. You knocked it out.
You
became a champion of acting just by walking in the room.
Yeah, but dude, no, it took guts of glory. I give so much props to actors. I talking in front of the camera, kind of like talking here right now, is so simple to me. However, learning lines, blocking, working with other artists, and then there's like a ton of people watching. You're just like, I never took theater. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And so just to get out of the car to go to the audition took guts of glory in my part. I'm a closet actress, right? At that point. Never have taken acting classes. I've never took theater. I was just like, let me just wing it. Let me see what happens. And I was in the car and I'm like, no, what if I totally suck? And then something in my brain or something just said, if you don't freaking do it now, you're never going to do it. And so that just, okay, let's do this. I can do this. And I got out of the car and I went in there. And now I tell everybody, do not be afraid. Do not, just go for it. Just take the chance. Whatever it is that you want to do in life, just take it. Because you never know what's going to happen. And look at me. Like, what the heck? It doesn't happen. I'm lucky.
And there's a cliche quote, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yes.
Yeah. And you just getting out of the car and accepting that. I'm sure you were thinking like, what if they don't like me? What if they kick me out of the room as soon as they see me? Anything could go through your head in that situation. But last week we had a casting director on and we talked a little bit about that and how it's really the actor kind of putting pressure on themselves kind of from their own head. He's like one of the leading casting directors in Texas. So like when we asked him like how he is thinking when somebody comes in for an audition, he's not really thinking like that. He's not really thinking like how can we break this person? It's really just more of like, are you yourself? How can you stand out and things like that. So obviously you stood out. I think that's awesome.
I know. It was pretty legit awesome. I was very profusely sweating. I was glistening right after that audition. But I was so nervous. I was petrified. My hands were shaking. My heart was like racing. I was like so in over my head. And then I didn't even have my sides. I didn't have anything. No. I didn't get anything in the email. So they're there like, oh, you have your script ready. And I'm like, no, what script? They're like, yeah, we emailed it to you. And I'm over here like shaking, like looking at my phone like, no, it wasn't. And I'm like, like sharing it with them. Like, I'm not lying to you. And they're like, oh, okay, well, we're sorry. You know what? Here's the script. Take it outside. Take 5 to 10 minutes and then come back in. I do not memorize lines that fast. I do not for the life of me. I suck at it. I am not used to reading lines, learning lines. I'm used to ad-libbing, improving, just going with the flow. What's happening? What's this? What's that? How I learned that in that speck of a moment beats the crap out of me. I have no idea.
You learned it like your life depended on it, right?
Yes, I don't know how I learned it, and then I'm there, fighting off, the ICE agents, and yeah, it was pretty surreal. And then
That was a wild day when we shot that. Were you on set during those 2 days on set?
No, I was on. See, there's a lot of stuff that they didn't put in the film.
True, yeah.
There's a lot of stuff of me coming out of the river with my husband, my first online husband, on screen. There was the fight scene. Not a fight scene per se, but where the ICE agents come in and invade inside the house, and so there's a lot of stuff that really did get cut out.
I remember that day. Those roads were tiny, and I had to drive the grip truck down these roads. You could barely get a horse carriage down, or it was fun. I almost hit a mailbox twice.
It happens. I mean, I'm pretty sure I hit a couple of mailboxes too, but that wasn't me.
But how was it like watching the film? Because the first time I've done a couple of features, and the first time I watched one that came out, I did one in like 2013 as just an ultra green PA on this film called Strange Nature back up home north in Minnesota, and it came out like 5 years later in 2018, but it finally came out. And when I watched it, it wasn't even the story or like the substance of what you watch in a film at first. You watch it and you're like, oh my God, this scene took 12 hours. Oh, that day. Oh, that person on that day. It's just like, it's such an adventure watching a movie that you're in. And just experiencing that. It
was, and I kid you not, when they told me that it was going to come out, and it was going to come out on December 4th, and I was like, December 3rd. Leading up to the 3rd, and I'm going to say that because everybody watched it at midnight. Everybody I knew watched it right at midnight.
Yeah.
And leading up to it, I was nervous. But then you start thinking, did I suck or not?
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean?
The ultimate because you're auditioning for the internet.
Yeah, and now I'm like, oh my God. My friends, my family, coworkers, you name it, anybody that knows me in the Valley, and I know a lot of people, because of the career choices that I've taken, you really start to wonder, am I good enough for this? Because again, I've never seen myself as an actress. This is the first time I was ever going to do that. And so your mind just starts playing tricks on you, and you're going to suck. And I wanted to watch it so bad right at midnight, but I was like, nope, because I know for a fact that I'm going to have friends texting me. I'm going to have friends that are calling me, letting me know if they liked it, if they didn't. And it would just break my heart if they were like, Brenda, it fucking sucked. So I turned off my notifications and I went to bed early. And I kid you not, I ended up waking up, I think it was maybe 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning from being so nervous, to a plethora of text messages, Facebook messages, like everything, missed phone calls. But thankfully, oh my God, you made me cry. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Oh my God, it really touched my heart. I started crying with everything, because here I thought that I was gonna suck. And in all honesty, they were like, Brenda, no, like the film was really good. It really touched our hearts. It's something that really needs to get talked about here, especially down in the Valley, because it's very prominent there. Yeah. And so, you know what I mean?
Hot.
Huh?
And it's also very hot down there.
Yeah, it's very hot in the Valley, but the food is great. You can't complain about the food.
True.
Yeah, no, but then they were just saying, it was really good. And I'm just like, okay, I can watch it now.
Just feeling relieved.
Yes, just feeling that relief of, okay. And then you really think about it, because once I saw the film, then you're like, okay, if I didn't make you cry in the beginning, for those crybabies like me, if I didn't make you cry in the beginning, I didn't do my job. And so, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that's the way I kind of took it. And then I saw it, and I kid you not, till this day, I have only seen it once.
Really?
I can't see it. I can't see myself. I can see myself hosting commercials, whatever. I cannot for the life of me. I feel like, I don't want to see myself. I don't even know who that was. So yeah, but.
So it was. Yeah, so films can be like feature films, professional feature films like that. That could be an amazing amount of growth and learning in a short amount of time.
Yes.
Like, that's why I love it so much, is because it just in that compressed amount of time, you learn so much about everything, not just your trade, but everything about filmmaking from start to finish, and just the people that are on set, how they, conduct themselves, how the film conducts itself. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful, wonderful thing. And afterwards, I agree with you. Even as part of the crew, because you become so bonded with the crew that when you're done with it, you're just a different person, and you aspire to be as good as the best person on set on day one, and then you kind of mold into that when it's all done, and then when the set stops, it's just like time is so different, especially during COVID, but time is so different off set. And it's like, where are my film friends? It just solidifies like knowing people in the film industry even more.
Yeah, and then you start, like, oh, do you have social media? Do you have Facebook? Do you have Twitter or Instagram? Like, what do you have? And I mean, then after that, that's basically how you keep in touch. Yeah. And we didn't really converse, but I am so good with faces. Yeah. And so that's why as soon as I saw you come down, I was like, you were on set. I know you. You were in my home. And then that was me. I was like, dude,
I was pretty sweaty on set too.
Oh my God. It was hot. And that's because it was in November. We filmed in November, Texas, and it was freaking hot.
It was 97 degrees at 7 a.m. And
97 in November?
Yeah.
In McAllen, Texas.
Is that usually the way it works?
Yeah.
Yeah, over there it's crazy. Yeah, it's a bipolar weather. It's totally bipolar weather, but it's pretty awesome when you get to meet so many people, and so many of them were from all parts of the U.S.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome to see, because again, this is the first time I'm ever on a film set.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, to me, everything was new. I just want to take pictures of everything. And then they're like, but you can't be posting anything. And I'm just like, sorry, my bad. And so, but it was just such an incredible experience. And I'm so happy that I took that leap of faith and just went with it. And so now I literally, before coming up here, I just filmed another film, and so I was on set for that. Yeah, so that one's gonna be. It's called Haunted Valley. Yeah, I've never done any horror films. I hate horror films, and here I am doing one. So I'm literally soaking everything in, and so
awesome.
Like I said, I just started, I did the film, I auditioned for the film, what was it? 2 years ago, almost 3,
it feels like 50 years ago with COVID and all that.
And now I'm just barely becoming that. And I just turned 40, which for all of the people that are, my age or older, it's never too late. Lord have mercy.
Nope.
It's not. I've changed career paths. God only knows how many times. I'm back at school doing my 3rd degree while I changed career choices with, like, now I'm acting instead of being a marketing manager. And so, it just snowballs. I feel like you can just transform yourself into so many things as the years go on, So it's pretty neat. I absolutely love it. I recommend it.
And you're here for it. You're ready for it. You're ready for that change.
I am.
What you just said is an incredible amount of change. Like changing a career path, that's a lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a lot. To first of all, take in mentally and then actually act on it. Like, plenty of people want to change career paths, but they never put it into the world and actually do it. But more power to you.
Thank
That's
you.
Incredible.
Yeah, no, man, it's again guts of glory,
Yeah.
guts of glory. And I had to talk to my husband, and I was like, babe, and this was like right before I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like I love what I do. I loved being where I was. But you just get to that point, and COVID was so good, people think of it, COVID, and yes, it will always forever have a bad stigma. Everything that happened, I feel completely
dark.
horrified and saddened with anybody and everybody that's been affected by it. But when you really, because I'm look at the glass half full all the time. That's just the way I've always been.
That's a good way to do it.
Right? It's like, what good will this come out of? And at first you're kind of like, because you're so stuck with the norm of you're doing this every day. You're just like 100 miles an hour going, doing the things that you think are making you happy, and then everything just stops. And then you really get to really think about what it is that you want to do in life.
That's true. There's a that's been in the news lately that a lot of people actually did do that. They did reflect and say, okay, what do I really want in life? And mostly it's like self-preservation.
Yes.
And doing time becomes the valuable part. The paradigm shift has been like, my time is way more valuable than some 9 to 5. I want to make art. I want to be creative.
Yes.
I want to do something. I want to do that closet project that's been in the back of the closet for 10 years.
Yeah, no, I think the DIYers were the ones that really took advantage of that.
Yeah.
All the artsies and music people,
The lines at Home Depot, because all the dads are like, all right, better build that deck.
Now I have time to do that. Dang it. No, but you really got to reflect. You really got to just be. I forgot that I loved to cook. I had forgotten that I love spending time with my kids, because it's always, okay, wake up, let's go. It's okay, we need to go to school. Take you to school. Okay, now I need to go to work. You're at work 9 to 5. Okay, get out. Go pick up the kids. Go take out the kids. Take them to go eat. Then take them to practice. After practice, you're getting home at 10 o'clock at night, and that's your freaking week.
That's a busy schedule.
Especially, as a mom, for all the youngins, it's tough. But you know what? It makes you really think about those things that are so important to you. And family was by far the best thing. But then you're also wondering, I had a dream when I was little, and you were like, where did that dream go all of a sudden? I was doing it. And then what happened? Yeah. And then life hits, and then you got to pay the bills, and you got to do this, and you got to do that, and you're just like, dang, and so your career paths just, take you anywhere and everywhere. And COVID just really made me realize that, you know what, I want to get back to this. And all of a sudden it's like, I really want to get back into the groove. And then all of a sudden, here comes You Are My Home. And then, oh my God, and everything just started, that snowballing effect.
In that direction.
Yeah. And it just kind of pushed me towards it. And right at January, you started to think like, okay, this year, it's a total new year. Forget 2020, because everybody wants to forget about it. What am I going to do different? Right. And then that's when I told my husband, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm stressed out all the time because of stress of work. I am stressed out trying to play mom and this and that and wife and housekeeper and da 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 da. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want a 9 to 5. I'm like, give me this year. Give me this year to see what it is that I can do with this called acting. What can I build
towards? Yeah.
Yes. And he was the best husband ever. He said, you know what, babe? Go for it.
That's awesome.
I know. Not a lot of husbands or wives would say, yeah, babe. Yeah. Totally. That salary job, just go follow your dreams. It doesn't really happen. Yeah. So I'm just so fortunate to have, that rock at home that's like, okay, babe, let's do this. And he puts up with a lot, because in acting, oh, you got a job, you need to be in Austin in 2 days. Oh, you got a job, you need to be, here in less than a week. Oh, you need to be here. And then imagine if you had a 9 to 5. And I'm like, oh, I need to get the day off, and oh, I need this week off, and it wasn't going to work. So yeah, he's like, babe, don't worry. I'll take care of the kids. Go off and do your thing.
Yeah.
And so
I got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
So he's amazing. So
That
I
is
got to
so
give him
cool.
much props on that one.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
What's your husband's name?
Robert.
Robert, thank you, Robert, for supporting this young woman.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Shut
no,
up.
and now he's doing it too.
Is he acting too?
Did you ever see him play the ICE agent on the film?
I didn't.
In the film, that scene goes by pretty quick. It's
Yeah,
kind of like
so
this slowed down,
because
like sort
he-
of dream sequence.
Yeah, so
But I
he's
know the AD was one of the ICE agents. He just threw on a
Yes. Mm-hmm.
jacket and said, "All right, let's do this." Like the crew on that set was so hardcore and so good at what they do. I loved being a part of it.
Yeah, no, he ended up playing one of the ICE agents, and when I had auditioned, I had mentioned it to them. Yeah, my husband is an ex-ICE agent. He's an ex-Border Patrol agent. You know, if you guys ever
Perfect.
need anything, right? And so they actually did reach out to us quite a few times, asking for advice, like consulting in this and that, because they really wanted to
Awesome.
get it,
So
you know,
guys
right.
were the perfect fit.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, it totally just happened. And so he ended up being part of the film. And then, I kid you not, on Father's Day, they flew him to, not the film, but, you know, a commercial, flew him to El Paso to be a Border Patrol agent, a commercial. I'm like, babe, like, you're totally doing this. And he's
Oh my gosh.
this is not my scene, but I will do anything for you. I'm like, thanks. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and the kids are doing it too also, so I'm just getting the whole family involved.
That is so cool.
So I have a question. I saw in your bio that that you used to be a newspaper reporter for The Writer.
Yeah, so
Yeah, what's
again,
that?
I mean, that was the second time going to college, my second degree. I was like, you know, I was in business management and marketing, and I got out of that, did the whole business stuff, and I'm like, oh, it's just so like, oh, I really don't like it. And so I went back to school. I was like, because I quit everything, and then again, you know, I had to take the step. I took a month off, and during that month, I remember looking at the television and being like, I want her job. Like, I wanted to do that. And so I was like, how am I going to do that? I'm like, what the heck am I supposed to put? Back in the day when I was doing my stuff on TV, it was all VHS. None of that crap is on freaking any website right now that you can even think about it. So
It's rare. Rare copies.
yeah, where are the copies? You know, and this was like in Spanish and English shows that I was on. I don't have anything. And then I was gonna put, well, if I go and apply for this, what the heck am I supposed to put on their natural fucking talent or on the freaking application?
I just born with it.
You know, I mean, I couldn't do that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going back to school. I got up. This was like bright, like early in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. I got up, took a shower, got my kids ready, and boom, I went and I applied. Like, I just did it just like that.
Just signed right up.
Yeah. And
You go, girl.
yeah, and
Wow.
so that's how it led me to the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, which is UT or GV back home. And I went there and I was like, I'm gonna do broadcasting.
Oh, that's cool.
F it. I'm gonna become a journalist. I don't care. I'm gonna do it. I
it.
don't even know how old I was. I think
it.
I think it was like I don't even know how old I was. Maybe like 33, 34. I don't know,
Oh,
somewhere
yeah.
around there, mid 30s.
Yeah. Age is just a number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, and
exactly,
nobody
yeah.
knew that I was that age. I was like, "Pff, dude, this is like piece of cake.
Yeah. You can hang out with the 18-year-olds
Yeah,
like it's
they're
nothing.
they were like, what? And you have kids? What? Like, they were tripping out. But no, that's how I got to the writer, to the newspaper, because I wanted to work for the TV station, UTRGV TV, but just like it would happen, I ended up missing my interview.
Oh,
Oh man, I killed myself that. I was like,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
But it wasn't my fault. I had a really, 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 really good excuse. And I missed it. And so I kept telling my professor, Mr. Mann, who's now retired, I want to do something. I want to work in the media department. Like, what do I do? And he's like, you know what? We're actually, trying to see newspaper reporters. And I'm like, newspaper? Like the newspaper? Really? And he's like, just give it a shot. It's going to help
print?
you. Yeah,
Like ink?
it's going to help you. And Lord and behold, I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
I really did. Because now I used to do the in front of the camera thing. Okay, well now I'm doing the writing thing. Now I'm writing everything down and learning how to write it. And man, it's hard.
Well, I was kind of confused about the whole newspaper thing because I didn't think people even use newspapers anymore. Mm-hmm. Like they use all digital now.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. Yeah. You know, nowadays no one's picking up a paper, and that's where there's so many newspaper outlets.
There's some holdouts out there.
Huh?
There's some holdouts. I still pick up the Austin Chronicle.
Yeah, like there's still some, like the major ones. I think though. Yeah. I think kind of like the New York Times and stuff like that. Either the really big ones
or like the little charming free paper.
Right.
I love those.
Yeah, no. And so, but I kid you not, you can do so much with the newspaper, and I was just so fortunate. I had a tough director. Oh, she made me cry because again, I'm just, now that I see it in retrospect, I'm like, she pushed me for a reason.
Yeah.
I cried. I would cry because every sentence, every word in that sentence had to make sense. And this is an actual, like, you're writing an article going word for word, sentence
like
to
thousands of words, like 5,000 words
minimum.
Oh
my God.
That's what burned me in college was like, all right, you got to write 500 words. I'm like,
that's tough.
Yeah, no, director, Miss Annette, she kicked my butt, but in a very, very good way. And I'm very fortunate to have that, where I cried because of you, but it's like a love-hate relationship. She made me into a really good writer, for sure.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Super valuable skill. Because with your experience in acting and things like that, I think crossing the bridge to script writing or understanding script writing it's a pretty short bridge for you now.
Yeah,
writing
and even
is like the foundation of everything.
Yeah, no, and even nowadays with like people that are doing blogs and things like that, being freelancers, being a newspaper reporter, a journalist, a blogger, whatever it is, you have to make sense and you have to be able to really put down in writing what you're thinking and what you're trying to say. So yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I absolutely loved it. Awesome. I liked it. Yeah.
I love writing. I did a lot of free writing. I try to keep on top of it. And I feel like I've gotten pretty good at it. I don't usually do the scripts and screenwriting, but I mean, people in the film world, like it seems like everybody has like a script that they want to get produced, or everybody does screenwriting. But I was actually going to go to college and do an English major.
Yeah.
But I met somebody in like this kind of like this it was like this this brush up class because I got a GED, and it was like this brush up class before you go to college. So I was in that class the summer before actually enrolling in the college I went to, Lake Superior College. Shout out. Wonderful college. And I met this guy named Brandon, and I was just a writer. I was just like a loner, introvert, and a writer. And I had this short story, and he offered to read it. And nobody had really done that before, and just said, hey, I want to see your creative expression. I want to see this. So he saw it and he read it. He goes, I want to show you something. And he takes me to the media production room in the college, and it's just this wonderful space. There's a classroom, and then there's another room with like 20 plus editing computers, and then the room adjacent to that is a giant studio with a green screen and lighting gear and just basically a playground for a video editor.
I know. When you walk into that, you're like, oh, this is amazing.
I took that elective class that week, and that completely changed my whole trajectory from writing to like video production.
Isn't it amazing when that happens?
Yeah, like I dived into all the software that week and just got really good at it.
Yeah.
Like I took the bus to college as well, like just, and the last bus to leave the college was 7:00, and I was always sprinting at 6:58 to get to the bus to go home because I was on a computer, figuring out editing, because it was like a video game. It was like, this is like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So like that was my introduction in the film and kind of the behind of filmmaking.
Yeah.
And I was sold immediately.
Right.
And that summer I was on a feature film, and the rest is like just history.
Right. And I think that's what happens when you're into this thing called, the film industry, or you're just like in awe. I love editing. Oh my God, you can literally spend hours and you're thinking it was minutes. Like,
that's where the story takes place.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I love it. And so that kind of let me, explore another avenue of what I might want to do. And then, everything just snowballs and you start becoming this other person. You're like, wait a second, I really thought I was going to do this. No, and now you're doing that. Oh shit, now I'm going back to this. And I think that just kind of diving into those different things, even though you don't think about it, I think that's where you start to really understand that everything that you had learned before is just jumping you to the next step, and then to the next step, and I think that that's what happened with me. I learned this one trade, and that one trade helped me to finish this other trade, and from there, yada yada yada, and it just kept on going and growing, and now it's it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, I definitely understand all that. Like, you go in for one thing, and then it comes out like, no, I want to do that. I want to do this now.
Things change. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I absolutely like it. I love it. But yeah, the commercial work is.
To add? I feel like you're getting antsy a little bit.
I know.
No. I'm not getting antsy at all. I'm getting antsy because I'm enjoying this conversation.
Yeah.
He's excited.
But anyway, what I was gonna ask is, do you have a favorite actor or actress?
Oh, that's a good one.
I mean. Okay, guys, I'm totally Mexican. If you couldn't see, I'm totally brown. So I mean, I'm definitely going that route. But the film where I finally got to see people of me, like me, that looked like me, that sounded like me, maybe not sound because I don't have an accent, was Desperado. I absolutely love Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek, and I absolutely loved them in that. And that to me was like, holy cheese balls. Like, there can, be films with, the lead actor and actress are, Hispanic like me. Like, it's freaking amazing. And so they were my favorites. Maybe also the song Desperado, because, it was just bomb. But, after that, and don't criticize me, okay, guys? Like, I'm like obsessed. Like, I haven't seen a lot of stuff come out with Angelina, but dude, Angelina to me was just like the epitome of beauty, but she could kick ass if she wanted to. I loved her in Hackers before the whole, all this other mumbo jumbo that she started doing, including like what is it? Tomb Raider, Laura Croft and Tomb Raiders.
She's in a bunch of stuff. She's an action movie.
Yeah, but when I first saw her, it was in the movie. I think it was like an indie film. I mean, it's called Hackers, and I loved it. I loved her character, and just it was bomb. I liked her. I like her a lot.
I gotta check it out. I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, dude, it's I'm old school. Like, and if you haven't even seen Desperado either, it's pretty cool. And that one's directed by Robert Rodriguez, and he's amazing. And I think he keeps using them just because of the whole, trying to get, us Mexicanos on screen.
Yes. So the sound guy, you have to get a Mexican sound guy just so he knows where to put the volume on his mic, because he could be loud.
Yes, I know.
As you were saying. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of them on site.
Yeah, right now
raise the mic higher.
I'm really holding back right now. Normally, I'm a speaker. Everyone's like, Brenda, can you whisper? I am whispering. They're like, no, you're not. Everybody can hear what you're saying. I'm like, oh, sorry.
So, for film projects, where all have you traveled to in the film industry, like for film projects?
Yeah, have you gone out of state to
I haven't just yet. I haven't gone out of state. Everything's here in Texas. But I'm actually, I ended up doing a voiceover for a film called Last Dream in the UK. I also did a voiceover, and I did I played the role of a newspaper. Not newspaper, my bad. Newspaper. You guys got me thinking. A news reporter. I was the anchor. There we go. I was the anchor for that one, and that one's called Amber, and that was in New Mexico. But I ended up doing it with my green screen at home. So COVID did amazing things. You can do so much, from home remotely now.
Oh yeah, 100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like I absolutely love it. I mean,
I think self-tapes is the most prominent thing. Is showing who you are without that sort of human energy connection.
Yeah.
Because you need that. That's how films are done. Like, it's incredibly weird and taboo to like have like a cast and try to do like a Zoom call film. I'm sure you could do like a one-off, but like you have to be on set acting. So like when you do a self-tape by yourself, that's a big challenge to really put yourself out there to the director and connect that way.
Because for You Are My Home, I went live in color and in person, and I was there.
Yeah.
And you're there, you're feeding off, the other actors that are there with you. They weren't auditioning, they were just there to kind of, role play with what was going on in the scene. And then you have the director, maybe the producers that might be there, and they're telling you, what if you try it like this, or what if you try it like that? Self-tapes, not so much. You have one chance only, and you better get it that first. Yeah, it's that one shot,
Were you having like self-tape auditions like on Zoom, or are people watching you as you audition?
No.
Or was it like record and send it in?
So, I mean, right after, like in January, everything was just self-tape. And luckily, and I say luckily because I still get really nervous. Like I get so nervous.
Oh.
So they're like, it's self-tape. And you're like, what the heck is a self-tape? You're like, how do I do that? And like, I'm still learning here. I'm like, what do I need? How does the background and the lighting and this, and it has to be perfect, and it has to be, at eye level, and you kind of know that stuff because obviously broadcasting, you should know this, but it is not the same. Like it is not. And then luckily for me, and I feel so bad for actors who don't know how to edit, you have to edit your sides or your auditions or doing your slate and say, and then mush it all together. And for those people that don't know how to edit, they have to outsource that and ask a friend or ask somebody or yada, yada, yada. But it is hard because I'm like, can you just tell me what you wanted? Like, I promise I'm like a really good study and I'm really good with direction. But when you don't have that person telling you, oh, can you just tweak this? And can you do this? And can you do that?
Just like this way.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you got that one shot. And if you didn't do it, they didn't like what you were wearing or whatever, blah, 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 that's it. You didn't get it.
Hence Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel very fancy all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, and so luckily now...
so it's the same thing with crew.
Is it?
Yeah, needing a demo reel, needing people in the industry.
No way.
It 100% is, yeah. If you get in early and you have a crew of people and you vibe well from a working perspective, that's a great way to get gigs because that's like personal referral. Hey, I'm the DP, I have this AC that I go everywhere with. Hey, I'm the director, I have this DP that I go everywhere with. It's the same thing with grips and art and everything else. It's sort of like you hire out a department.
Who do you know?
Exactly. It's 100% a network of people and definitely a trust and like a lot of like leap of faith. Like I know this guy, I worked with him on this feature, like he's something else. Like you got to hire this guy. So it's that, and also it's a lot of like just basically auditioning and hitting people up and saying, hey, I can do this position. Yeah. And they said, really, can you?
Can you? Yeah, it's like, can you?
You gotta prove it to them.
Yeah. Exactly. And no, I mean,
you gotta give 150% every day, all day. No matter how like tense things can get tense.
How hungover you are.
Yeah, exactly. Attitudes could come out, but it's totally professional, 100% about the film, and that's what I love about like film crews. When the focus is there, when the professionalism is there, it's about the group finishing one objective. Yeah, and that's all that matters. And I love that that group focus. Yeah, because everybody is incentivized to put in more effort than they've ever put in before, like set up faster, pack up faster, move set faster, and just be as precise as possible. I love that. Yeah, no, like to me, I mean, I absolutely loved being on set. I think that was for me, I think the biggest crew that I had been around. There were so many of you guys. Like
It was
beautiful
insane,
little
and it's
chaotic
a little
circus, right?
intimidating because I'm like, crap, they're gonna freaking look at me, they're gonna hear me, they're gonna know if I suck or not. Oh my god, like but and that's when you really got to get your bearings on straight, and you really just need to be like focused. And I'm like, pretend they're not there, pretend they're not, but there's so many of you guys, like all over the place. But no, yeah, I mean, it all goes down to everything. Who do you know? What do you do? And back home, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But no, and going back to the whole self-tape thing, and it kind of got me thinking. I have done so many auditions. It's not even funny. I submit, then you have to get the privilege of auditioning, then be lucky enough to get a callback, then lucky to get the spot. So it's a lot. The process is big. So for a lot of people that might be watching that don't know that process, it's a lot. I think submitted for more than, I don't know, like 250 something since January.
Wow.
Just since January.
Well, you're out there.
I have submitted a lot. And this is like with my agent. No, this is like on my own, what my agent sends me. And I just got signed with the Osbrick agency in LA for voiceovers. Yes, I just got signed. Thank you.
That is awesome.
I haven't really put that out there because I don't know why. I just took a step back and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to announce it to the world on my social media.
It's got to be a little shocking at first. Like, oh,
it is
agency.
Because
I'm doing the same thing that like Downey Jr. is doing.
Because I kid you not, that same agency actually has, and they have a huge talent pool.
What's the name again?
Osbrick, the Osbrick agency.
Okay.
And so they have Cobra Kai kids on there, and I'm like, I just watched. Oh my god!
Yeah,
like
you gotta go to an agent, mixer.
Yeah,
and
you're just like
hang out with talent.
I know you got like kids.
Yeah,
no, you got the kiddos that you're gonna know from like different series, things like that. The same thing with like the adults and the adult talent, and then you're just like, I just saw that dude on freaking Cobra Kai. What's his name? Hawk? Is it Hawk with the mohawk? Have you seen it?
I've seen a little bit of it.
Oh my god, I'm like in love with it. Sorry guys, I'm like old school. I love Karate Kid, but
no, I love the movie.
I love that movie.
I've heard good things about Cobra Kai. I just haven't seen it yet.
Are you talking about the 2010 one with Jaden Smith?
Oh my god, no! But I like my kids like that one because that's the newer version. And I liked it too. It was cool. But I'm an old school. I'm from the '80s, so
young kids. The young kids in the 3 different costumes, and
they're
hanging out eating pizza, and they beat up the older bad guys. Like such an 80s movie.
I know, but I think they were bomb. And I was just watching how movies were made on Netflix. It's like a documentary. There's 2 seasons. Each season has like 4 episodes, and the first one or the second one, was it the first one? Either the first or second one of this season, the second season, it has Back to the Future.
Oh, awesome.
Oh my God. I was like, no way. I did not know that a lot of the stuff that came out on there. I was like in shock. I love the behind the scenes stuff. I love learning all that stuff.
I saw a picture of Doc and Marty. I forget their actual names, but there's a picture of like, hey, Doc and the kid, they made it to 2021.
Yeah.
It's like reference to the movies. I loved all 3 movies.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's like taboo or not, but I loved all of them. I watched them back to back.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
How can you not? And those are like the movies that really stick out to you when you think of like that era. Like that time frame. It's bomb. You guys should watch it. I'm like a total Netflix dude. I'm all about Netflix.
I love it.
I love it. And then you got the Disney Plus, and then you got Prime and everything. But dude, everything to me on Netflix is bomb.
Yeah, because of all those streaming services, I wouldn't be surprised if DVDs went obsolete like in the next like 10 years.
I know. I don't feel like DVDs are now like the thing, although they would be, because obviously they're like, oh yeah, can you sign this copy? Where the heck are they gonna get the copy if they don't even do it? But I think that they are kind of like the cassettes. Nobody makes cassettes anymore. Yeah. That whole spiel about that. I used to love it. I used to do my mixtapes of like DJs on.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was.
My mixtape is fire.
Yeah, like you don't even know, man.
Yeah.
I totally copied it from the radio, but still.
Dope Road Trip Mix 99. I love the names of mixtapes.
Yeah, no, I still have like this little backpack full of the tapes that.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, dude, everybody knew if you were in my car, it was gonna be a mixtape.
It's gonna be
and
a
I was
party.
like,
It's
F
gonna
the
be a
DVD.
karaoke
And this is
sing-along
DVD, like you were already into the DVD, like the DVDs, the CDs, and everyone has like in their cars like that binder with all the CDs. You're just flipping it and flipping them over here. Like, nope, you're in my car. It's all cassettes. Sorry, my bad. You want to be in my car? You don't. Ahí está la puerta. There's the door.
You're at the classic.
Yeah, not so much, but yeah, those were the days. But yeah, that's the way it is now.
Our AV man, Carlo, he's a physical media collector and is all about DVDs and physical media and preserving them. So that, there's still people out there that do it, that keep collections to themselves and just keep it alive.
I know. Yeah. I still feel like just like you were saying, I think it's a dying it is because every
pretty much out the
I mean,
window.
even when you see the award shows tough. and I was I was looking at it and it's like, oh, Apple TV got nominated for a series on there, or on Netflix, and then now it's like Apple, Netflix, Prime, and then you have the regular whatever movie, Universal or whatever the heck it was, right? But that's what you're seeing more and more now. Everything's streaming, and then sometimes you're like, I really want to get that series on Netflix, or whether it's on Prime or Hulu or whatever the heck you want to. But yeah, I mean, things are just evolving.
I miss the DVD menu.
Oh my God, I love the behind the scenes stuff in the DVDs.
Special features, and like if you got like a Disney movie or something like that, or a Pixar movie, there'd be like little
songs,
special buttons and stuff like that you could find. It was a whole like different experience.
Yeah.
And the commentary of the movie itself, like it was a full featured, like you're in it, and there's no Wi-Fi like disconnection. There's no threat to it unless the DVD is scratched, which happens sometimes.
It just
if you got
sucks
siblings.
when it got scratched. Yeah. Oh my God, you're like, no, there was like $25.
But I would take that over just like just rows upon rows, because it kind of devalues like great movies could be right next to like kind of forgettable movies. But if you have a DVD, every movie's great because it's just so fully itself, the commentary, the special features, like everything.
No, I was always in love with the behind the scenes.
Yeah, me too.
It's like when they show you that stuff, you're just like, man, like I'd love to be a fly on that set, like a fly on the wall on that set. Because you as a person, as a regular person who was never on a set before, obviously you're just like, man, like how do things really work? Like how big is the set, or how small, or how many, dude, to the whole point of like how many takes does that take? They're oh man, I could go off on just that alone. It's like just one line. Do it again. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
Yep.
Okay, now from a different angle. Do it again. And do it again. Oh my God. But no, the bloopers also. I love the bloopers.
Yeah. I watch news outtakes on YouTube.
Yeah.
They have like giant compilations of news outtakes from different stations, and it's a great time. It's a great time to watch.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, no, I mean, getting back to all that, I think that film is it's just an amazing place to be, whether you're in front of the camera, behind the camera. I think it's just a way to tell stories. I think it's so freaking awesome. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
I agree. Yeah.
Right.
It's as old as humankind is telling stories. But started with cave painting. Something around that.
It started with the cave paintings, and now we're here.
Yeah.
I totally love it.
You want to be deterministic? Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know, but...
Fish figured out how to walk on beaches, and now we have, Netflix.
I know. I'm sure something else is going to come out soon. I'm pretty sure those platforms are, like, popping.
Oh, it's like Black Mirror And what special did they put out where it was interactive? It was choose your own ending kind of thing.
I think
There's an episode of this show called Futurama where they kind of showed the year 3000 and how movie watching is, and you press a button on your seat to choose where the film will go, like which scene will play next.
They do that.
And everybody watching can vote. I think that's coming. And VR. I think VR watching films is
have
here.
you, don't even get me on VR right now, because have you seen, for all of those even watching, have you seen Ready Player One?
Yes.
Oh,
love it.
My God.
Yeah.
I am obsessed. I kid you not.
Great movie.
I went to the flea market, sorry guys, and I bought it for $1. And I bought it multiple times because that's how many times I would watch it, and it was all scratched up. But I could have that on replay just because I absolutely loved it. And
it's throwback.
You know, like, right? And I don't think that it got like the marketing that it deserved, and I don't think it did as well as it should have if they would have marketed correctly. This is coming from marketing.
Yeah. You can help us market this show.
Just let me know. Just let me know. I'm here.
Let's do it.
But oh my God, like for those of you that have not seen it, it's basically based in the future and not so far off, right? It was like, I think 2050, 20 something, I don't know. And then, it's super futuristic. They're living in basically their world, their life is in VR. They're not even, there's a part where the mom is like, whatever, and the kid's like, Mom, like there's something burning on the stove, and she's like, whatever. And they show her playing a game, and she gets killed in the game,
valley.
and she falls from the couch because she's on the couch doing this. And I'm just like, it's kind of like being on your phone right now. It's like you're on your phone, and the kids are like, Mom. And they're like, Mom. I'm like, what? What happened? What's going on? And I think I just feel like that's where it's going. But it's also talking about like those real problems of like, the system and how it's there just to like, F you up, all that jazz. But besides all that, I love it.
We can go the punk route. We can be
right?
Yeah.
I love it. Man, if you haven't seen it, by all means, go watch it. You're going to love it.
I love it. I've seen it just once, but I've seen that. I've seen Gamer. There's a short film on Vimeo called Uncanny Valley. That's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Where they have this little device this big. They put it behind their ear, and they're fully immersed in a virtual reality.
Yeah.
And it's a short film. It's really, really well done. I can't think of the director right now, but it's just a short film I found. It's just something that sticks with me.
Yeah.
Because technology and understanding technology and being a futurist and somebody who just loves looking at where the world is going.
Exactly.
And where the trends are going.
Yeah.
And it's like AI driven, first and foremost. And as far as like, humans are kind of being treated like ad revenue, cows.
Yeah. Yeah, we're the cows.
Insane.
Yeah.
It's based on our input. So
you put it on there and you're just like, oh my God, I was just talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Like it just pops out in your phone. And I was
true.
like, I was just saying that. When did it hear me say that? Like,
All day, every day.
And then you're like, here, take my money. Because I really wanted that. No, but I absolutely love that movie. It totally takes you into this completely new space. And it tells you right from the beginning what it's about, and you can go, gamble, or if you want to be a different sex, or you want to be an animal, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. And I think that there's like a place in time where you just want to escape, like me going to the theater, which I still haven't done since after COVID.
Really?
Like,
I got a story about that. I went to the theater during COVID.
I haven't done the theater, and I'm like, theater, like I want to go. I stress out so much about daily life that when I go to the theater, it is me and that, and leave me alone.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters. I am immediately like, immersed in that world. And I haven't been able to do that. And I want to go, and I want to do it. Oh, I really wanted to do it. I really want to go.
One movie's coming out. Dune is going to be a blockbuster. It's coming out in October.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you go see Snake Eyes?
I did not. No.
I haven't heard of it.
No. You see? Marketing. See what I say? See what I say? So
Did you market
I
this?
didn't even know what the heck. I was like, what? You're going to the theater for what? Snake Eyes. What is that?
Is that a G.I. Joe thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't even know. I was like, what?
They made like 4 of those.
As soon as
and I
they said,
haven't
as
seen
soon
any
as
of
they
them.
said G.I. Joe, I was like, oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah.
There's
But-
some of them are not that good. That's why I said Dune in October, because the films coming out now are just like Quiet Place came out, but right now there's nothing very strong in theaters right now. Just because COVID it
Yeah.
impacted literally everything, including release times. Tomorrow Never Dies, I think, is coming out.
Oh, that
Holiday?
was what Tomorrow Never Dies? No. Oh, I thought you were talking about Tomorrow World. My bad.
No. Tomorrowland. Yeah, Chris Pratt. That's Amazon Prime. That's
I saw that one. Oh,
Really?
it's good.
Was it good?
Yeah.
so
I
they
liked
gotta put that
it.
in theaters.
They should have. I think
yeah.
it would have done so good. It's actually really good. I like it. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like watching Army of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw it. Much because one of the guys that comes out is actually from the Valley. He's actually from McAllen. And so
Oh,
he
cool.
came out. I'm like, I have to watch it. Like, because you're like aspiring. Like, he's from your hometown.
Yeah, he's from the world,
You know,
yeah.
he's from there. And then he's like, oh, crap. Like, now you're sharing the fucking big screen with like John Batista. And oh my God, like so many amazing actors that were on there. And you're just like, lucky. And then he just came out on another film with like Guy Ritchie. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, seriously, this dude is like amazing. And so I was watching that and I'm like, dude, you have to see the behind the scenes on how they made that film.
Okay.
It is like legit insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved it.
It's getting a little goofy. I've seen the
is.
behind the scenes for Lord of the Rings and also for Avengers and Thanos. It's just like a wooden stick with like a Kinko's piece of paper with Thanos' face
like right here,
8 foot
right?
above, just so they can get
Yes.
allies, right? And it's the weirdest shit ever. But I love how freaky film can be. And I've definitely been on indie short films and like
You gotta-
no budget films where it's just like we're in public being weird as fuck
Yeah.
for the purpose of making this film or whatever we're shooting. And like there's this one time we were recording ADR for a horror film way back in college, and we had the actor come in and do a scream in studio, and she must have been a little bit Mexican because she was insanely loud and alerted the entire like department. Like the people across the hall
Yeah.
came out, like down the hall was administration, they came out like, is somebody hurt? Like what was that?
Leave it to us loud ones because I am not even gonna lie. I had to
love
do
that. I
had
love
to
it.
do that for this film that I just wrapped for Haunted Valley, and I had to scream, and again, like saying how many times you had to do it, my voice was shot. I was like, I had to scream at the top of my lungs, and the first time that they're like, okay, we're gonna do it, I'm like, you really want me to scream? They're like, yes, as loud as you can. I was like, all right. I belted that thing, like, oh man, yeah. We're loud. It gets good. It gets good.
I love that sense of just freaking people out and then making films.
That's why I like to go to haunted houses, because I want to scream. You don't get to scream like every day, like at the top of your lungs. So yeah, when I go to the haunted houses, that's literally why I want to go, because I want to yell as loud as I can, and no one's gonna say anything because it's part of the thing.
Yeah, awesome.
Getting paid
too.
to scream, yes, please.
Concerts, sports games. You can scream at a lot of places, I think.
No, again, this is like apenitas. We're like barely getting back into the groove of everything, so I haven't been able to scream at anything.
You gotta go to some public things like So the story about going to a movie theater during COVID, I was just a holdout. I was still like brave enough to go into the theater, and funny enough, when I would go to the theater, it felt like I rented the thing because there's like maybe 2 people in there.
Yeah, there's like no one there at all.
So there's somebody, and so I went to a theater with recliner chairs, and like the first 3 rows, they're back. Okay, I'm saying that now. I'm saying that the first 3 rows are awesome again because you can recline back, you see the whole screen, and you can just chill. And so I was in the first row, and then somebody else was like way in the back, kind of in the middle seat, kind of the greatest hit type of seat. And I'm just a big fan of the first row. Anyways, I went to see this film called Possessor, horror film.
What?
Really good. And like midway through the film, it's like it's gory, it's horrific, it's suspenseful, it's intense. I loved it. And there was this really horrific scene happening, and then somebody coughed, like mid-COVID. Somebody in a dark room coughed behind me. It took me completely out of the film. I was
You're like, that's
oh,
it.
shit,
I don't want to be here
killer's in
anymore.
the room.
Like, they're here for me.
And that scared me. That made my stomach drop. It scared me more than
They
the
were there
film.
to give you COVID.
Oh. Yeah, no.
I didn't. Thankfully, I've tested it for extras gigs and things like that. I was an extra once. I tried.
Really?
doing-
How'd
yeah.
you like it?
It was cool. I got to hang out on the set of Walker when they were filming here.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I've auditioned for that
Yeah.
like multiple times. I think about 5 times now. But
Keep trying. Was it with Michael Druck or Vicky Boone? One of those two.
I think I don't know if it. I think it might have been Vicky.
Okay. Yeah.
But I've auditioned so many times, but I kid you not, in the agency that I'm in, the Blanco agency, a lot of us have gotten the
parts?
not the parts, but as in gotten the chance to audition. Because just even audition is like, dude, out of
Insane.
like
Yeah.
so many people that actually even want to, that they submit. And some of them, it's been 4 times, 7 times. So I'm like, oh, okay, I don't feel that bad. And then the photographer, Arthur Marroquin, who took my headshots,
Oh, cool.
he did it 5 times and he got it on the 5th one. And I was like, yes. I was like, finally somebody that I know is on there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. But again, just because you don't get it that first time, second, third, fourth, fifth, just keep on going. Hopefully I'll get it. But I wanted to be an extra. But the bad thing about it, especially for a series, and I learned this from my agent and also a fellow actor who I was doing a docuseries with for the Discovery Plus. He was an extra on there. And then he was
cool.
a featured extra, right? And then he wanted to audition for a part. Well, here's the problem. In a series, if you are shown...
He's already established.
Which means you cannot do an audition
Yeah.
and get like an actual role because you've already been something else. You've been cast, you haven't a doctor or, the cop or whatever. You have a name.
Right.
So he wasn't able to. So when I was like, man, I at least I've never been on the set of a series.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, it'd be cool. I want to be an extra. I mean, I just want to kind of look at it because again, I love the behind the scenes stuff. And that's when you really get to experience how it really works.
It's like a theme park.
Right? And so I told my agent, Lydia, and she's like, Brenda, I'm going to tell you this right now. If you want to be an extra in a film, in a commercial,
Great.
go for it. But when it comes to a series that's like television series or things like that, no. Because once they see you as an extra, they will not see you as a role anymore. I was like, man, okay. And then I'm still auditioning like, okay, I got another audition. Yes, okay. So yeah, you just got to keep on going. Ni modo. One day your personal, your persona is going to fit the character that they're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I know you have a long drive home. So is there anything else you'd like to add before we close?
I think I said that right in the beginning. First of all, thank you so much for having me. I absolutely appreciate it. So nice
I'm
to
so
like
happy to
see
see
you
you again.
again,
Yeah.
and thank you so much for reaching out to me. And the one piece of advice I would just give anybody in any field, doesn't have to be in this industry or not, is like just give it a shot. Don't
Go
be
for
afraid.
it.
Try
Do
everything.
not be afraid. And don't be afraid to change directions at any time. Maybe you're a lawyer and then you decide you want to be a football player or a soccer player or whatever. Hey, maybe you're going to be like in the B team, but at least go for it because
Yeah.
you never know
Yeah.
what could happen. So that's my bit of advice. You're never too old. You're never too old at all. You could be 80 and be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be an actress.
I got a fun question
Go for it.
you. I got a fun question for you. So being a marketing person and now an actress and having that eye, what kind of roles would Blake and I play on a film? Do you
I
think
don't
would
know.
fit?
Right now, when I was mentioning hackers, I could definitely see you guys in that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Like,
We should do that. We should do a hacker film.
I'm telling you, because they were like the smart guys, like super like punky, like, you know,
Yeah.
and I was like, not like an emo, I wasn't, but I loved hanging out with so many different types of people because you just get that different energy, I think,
Yeah.
from different types of groups. Oh, you got the preppy ones, and you got like, you know, the band geeks and the choir geeks, like, which I was a part of. And then of course you get like, you know, the other kiddos, and I think that anybody can play anything. And then if they fix you up, because they do, you're me, I played a detective 3 times, a cop. I'm not a cop. Like, I'm not.
They made you look like one, though.
They made me look like one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I love the whole holding the gun and being like, oh yeah, you know. But yeah, no, I really would see you guys in that. I think
super
you guys
cool.
would be
Let's do it.
bomb.
Yeah.
Do it.
We're programmers. We're
Yeah,
programmers
you
now.
never know. You're gonna be like these hackers, like amazing hackers. If you get $1 million, please, mochate. Give me some.
So I love making comedy films, and not lately, but I love doing like one-off skits and like funny ideas and things like that. And I've thought about doing like a cybersecurity like skit and just make it way over the top, where there's like, you know, low opacity, just tech graphics and just
Yeah.
like ridiculous amounts of interface sound, like beeps and bloops, things
Yeah.
like that. And they're just like scroll that over the screen as I'm like spinning around on my chair or something goofy like that. I think that'd be really fun.
You should. I know it's.
I love being goofy. It's a great time.
Yeah. See, and that's the one thing. I love being really funny, but a lot of the things that I get booked for are like dramatic.
Yeah, horror.
Yeah, like dramatic.
stabbed.
Like, I'm just like, you do know that I'm really funny, right? Like,
Yeah.
not, you know, not that I don't like that like stupid funny like type of movies, but it's like just that authentic. It's something that's funny. So when they're like, oh, you're gonna be playing the cop, and oh, you're gonna be playing the detective, and I love it. Do not get me wrong, but you're always like, man, I wonder if I'm ever gonna be like a little funny
Yeah.
or just like a little goofy or something. But it's
The
cool.
way you can crack jokes on set, like during a take of something, anything really, just like the funny shit you say afterwards, like the
Yeah.
improv things you say afterwards, that just busts the entire set. Great times.
Yeah.
Great times.
It has to be like, and it has
Nobody
to be
gets to
really
see
good
that.
timing. You do it in the worst time ever, and everyone's looking at you like, no, girl, no, this was not the time. But yeah, no, I mean, thank you so much for having me, guys. I
Yeah.
really
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
it.
Absolutely, and you seem like a very awesome inspiration to both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
You have like the coolest work ethic ever, and I'm so glad you're doing so well.
Thank you so much.
That is awesome.
Yeah, the whole go-getter in me, like, you know,
Yeah.
that like, yeah, no, nothing's gonna come to you just cause, like, no, you gotta go get it.
Yeah.
You gotta go. Yeah.
Never
But-
be the know-it-all. I think that's a good
Oh
way
my
to end
God,
it out.
yes.
Never say I know everything. You got to
Cause
be
you
open.
don't.
Open
No.
your heart to everything. Learn. We had our last guest was Michael Druck.
No way.
Yeah, one of the biggest casting
I
directors
was
in
wondering
Texas.
when you were talking about it, and then you were like mentioning it. I was like, I wonder who that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's actually going to be at the South Texas International Film Festival coming up in January.
Yeah, are you like the leader?
So I'm part of the board. Yeah, we didn't
That
get
is
to
so
that
cool.
subject. We got a lot to cover still.
Yeah, we gotta come back for another one. Come back for another episode for sure.
But for everybody that's watching that is in the industry, and you are, whether a writer, producer, director, actor, whatever it is, you can reach us out at www.stxiff.com, and
Okay.
we are still actually getting submissions. Our last deadline for film submissions is going to be August 15. So
August
if
15,
you still
okay.
have something, you know, go see the guidelines on filmfreeway.com/STXIFF.
I'm on there. I'm on Film
Yeah,
Freeway.
go look
Yeah.
for us. We're still getting submissions, and the one thing that I absolutely loved about the film festival is that every time that we have filmmakers, because we've had filmmakers come from Japan, China, Portugal, Mexico City, across the board, the US, all over Texas, you know, they're always saying, you guys are the nicest freaking people. I'm like, I know. And we go all out when it comes to the award ceremony. It's like a whole gala. I do the live from the red carpet at the South Texas International Film
that's
Festival.
exciting.
Yeah, it's like the whole I got the vibe going on, the news. So, I'm always there at the red carpet. That's what I'm basically known for, like doing the whole interviews with everybody. But, it's really nice when you start meeting all these people. And one of the filmmakers that I met there a couple of years ago is the director of the film that I was in, that I just wrapped,
world.
which is, again, like, I love this industry. You're just meeting, again, the like kind of people.
Yeah.
And then when you see them again, you're like, dude, how have you been? What you doing? Da, da, da. So it was really good. So if you guys get a chance to go, heck, even take the podcast with you.
We're gonna go.
I'm going to
the
send you
industry
guys
podcast at the film
You
festival?
can definitely do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm going to send
We're
you guys
in.
an invitation. I'm going to talk to the board. I'll let them know for sure.
We'll be there.
Yes, our next big break.
Yes, I'm telling you. I think that always just having that extra, like, hey, this was in here the year prior is always something that we are always striving for.
Yeah.
So definitely.
We can just be that extra media push to make Texas even bigger.
Yeah, just
in
the
terms of
same.
film.
I love helping people out. I love it. Like anything that I can help
Awesome.
with, I'm there.
Well, I think that wraps it up. Thank you again so much, Brenda. And this is awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah,
thank you everyone.
Thanks for watching the Industry Podcast. Bye. Adios.
Bye, everybody.